Andito na naman tayo sa isa pang episode ng
Not
Not Financial
financial
Advice.
advice.
Kasama ko ngayon si Tito G as usual. Tito, na-miss tayo ng ating mga audience ngayon,
Oo nga, eh, hindi natin tinamaan yung, top yung
Oo
yung
nga, eh,
yung recent rally last week wala tayo nung
oo.
almost 125,000.
Yes, so
Yes.
grabe. Pero alam mong interesting Tito, yung tumama Bitcoin ng over $124,000 per Bitcoin. Napansin mo ba parang muted yung reaction? Parang wala nga ako masyadong nakitang reaction sa social media. Parang expected na ng mga tao itong rally na 'to at nung tumama wala. May mga nag-post, siyempre pati ako nag-post. Pero hindi tulad ng dati nung first time tumama ng 100,000 parang may celebration, pinapanood mo yung charts. Ngayon parang, yeah, tumama ng 124, big deal.
Parang ano na, eh, parang kinda ine-expect na nila na medyo tatama dun, and at the same time kasi it was not a lot higher compared to the previous na binasag niya, 'di ba, na 123, eh.
Mhm.
And it also happened ng weekend.
Okay. Pero at the same time tingin ko kasi psychologically, the reason din na hindi gaano karami yung excitement over it kasi nga people expects it na. In other
Yes.
words, this is a good thing, kasi ibig sabihin na 'to ay yung mga tao ngayon ay psychologically para sa kanila ang 124,000 Bitcoin is not a big deal, hindi na
Given na,
mataas.
given na,
Oo, na
oo.
parang 124, big deal. It's only 124. That's nothing when you know where it's going. So yon. So given na alam na ng mga tao saan pupunta 'tong Bitcoin, para sa kanila 124 is a given like you say.
Yes, oo, kaya hindi na masyadong yung excitement, ano.
Yes, oo.
Oo, and, yun nga kasi weekend nangyari. Meron akong theory kasi na na-o-observe 'no, every time na weekend yung pump tapos minsan madalas umaabot ng Monday, tinawag ko siyang false move Monday.
Oh,
So,
okey.
pagka weekend nag-pump, Monday nag-pump or nag-dump, may mga laking movement, usually nire-reverse yung price ng Tuesday or Wednesday. So, gano'n siya, gano'n yung na-o-observe ko sa kanya. Kaya I don't trust yung mga rallies and dumps ng weekends, eh. Oo,
Oh.
kasi hindi based on, my observation, hindi niya kayang i-sustain.
So ano sa tingin mo ang nag-cause nung pump na 'to on a weekend?
Manipis yung volume. Manipis lang yung volume.
Kaya
Puwede
mabilis yung pump?
puwede talaga i-pump. Mm.
Okey. So volume lang pala 'to.
Walang news, eh, during that time
Right,
parang
right,
wala
right.
akong natatandaan na significant na
Mm.
na news, 'di ba? So, tas 'pag tinignan mo rin yung candlestick, I think it was just a 1 hour candle na isang super haba,
Yep.
tapos na-sustain lang ng mga small 1 hour candles na the following yung mga succeeding hours, eh. Pero isa lang yung long candle na if I'm not mistaken 1 hour or 4 hour lang yun. So, ibig sabihin
Oh.
saglit na saglit lang yung rally na yun na I think na mga 5% o mga
Oo.
gano'n, eh. So, konti lang 'yun tapos na-sustain na lang. And then
Okey.
what happened on a technical perspective, what happened was, nagkaroon ng liquidity grab ang tawag nila diyan sa mga nagte-trade actively 'no, especially yung mga nagle-leverage, tawag nila dun liquidity grab. Kasi, usually yung mga traders kapagka nandun na sa all-time high dun yan nagse ng mga stop loss. So, hinit yung stop loss, kinuha yun tapos binaba, binaba din. Oo, so
Ah,
may mga na-liquidate din tayo, may mga na-liquidate nung time na yon na, I think, global, overall parang mga more than $500 million.
ng mga short
Yes,
ang na-liquidate
na-liquidate,
dahil dun sa
na-liquidate,
pump na yun.
dahil dun sa pump na yun. Tapos, yun ngayon we are back at 115,
115, yeah,
115,
oo
yeah,
nga,
yeah,
eh. So, sa'kin naman I'm good with the 115 kaya nga nakita nga kanina ako ni Tito before he arrived, bumibili ako,
Nagsho-shopping,
nagso-shopping ng
nagsho-shopping.
discount, eh. Sabi ko, "Discount na 'to, okey na 'to, Oo,
Oo.
so sa'kin 'tong 115 is a good time for people to come into Bitcoin and that's, exactly what I do. So, maraming nagtatanong sa'kin kasi na mga bago sa Bitcoin, sinasabi sa'kin, "Ba't ako bibili, ang mahal-mahal na." Tapos tatanungin sa'kin, "Ikaw ba bumibili ka?" Sabi ko, "Actually, kakabili ko lang, eh." I bought at 117, 118. Today I bought at 115. May nakaabang ako this ghost month, this actual ghost month, may nakaabang ako ulit na nakahanda na. So in case bumaba pa to 110,000. So yun
Yeah,
yung ano.
what you're doing is a classic DCA or dollar cost averaging, eh. Which for me, kung hindi ka talaga marunong mag-trade ng Bitcoin pero naiintindihan mo, yun yung best way to do it, eh, dollar cost averaging. Ito ginagawa din ng mga malalaking, institutions 'no, like Strategy,
Hmm,
ginagawa niya. Um, si Strategy ngayon alam mo ba si Strategy kaka-DCA niya ng Bitcoin, ang he is up they are up by 60% yung
yes,
portfolio
malaki,
nila,
oo.
'di ba? So nagsimula naman sila last cycle, nagdi-DCA sila, hindi lang sila bumibili pagka bumababa, basta regularly bumibili, yun naman ang dollar cost averaging, eh. It doesn't mean na bumibili ka lang pagka bumababa,
Mhm.
'di ba? Sila kasi since marami silang pambili, malaki sila, they want to acquire a lot of Bitcoin, so whatever is the price, regularly they are buying. So,
Hmm.
right now they are up by 60%. Sabi ko nga, if your portfolio is increased by more than 60%, you perform better than Strategy. 'Di ba? Kung halimbawa, kasi nagsimula sila last cycle, eh, and if you are up, your portfolio is more than
Oh,
60%, perform better than Strategy. Yaan yung nakikita ko na advantage nating mga retailers. Okay, 'di
okey.
ba? I'm sure more than 60%
Yes.
yung inangat ng portfolio mo 'no? Because tayong mga retailers, like what you're doing, 'di ba, 'pag umaakyat puwedeng hindi ka bumili.
Yep.
For sure you did not buy at 125, 'di ba?
No.
But you started buying again sabi mo kanina 117, 118 and then you're DCAing habang bumababa siya. Sila Michael Saylor, hindi kahit na umaakyat yan
Bili lang.
they need to buy kasi, hindi naman nila puwedeng bilhin lahat sa baba, eh.
Right.
Oo. So yun
Oo.
yung advantage natin na, puwede nating gawin. So some naman na retailers are waiting for a bigger dip, nag-start mag-buy, waiting for the bear market, may mga gano'n. So iba-iba siyang strategy, but then again, whether, for me, whether, uh, bumibili ka during bear market or you're buying now, but as long as you're doing DCA and long term, 'di ba? Na-prove na natin 'yan, eh, you'll never go wrong, eh,
Yeah,
'di
that's
ba?
true. Pero alam mo ano, yung mga nanonood naman sa'tin na nag-iisip pa rin na, "I'll buy when it goes below 100." You're gonna probably wait for a long time if it even goes below 100. At yung isa pinag-usapan natin yung psychological barrier at, 100,000 for me is a human psychological barrier na yun na yung bagong support level. Hindi na tingin ko 'to bababa to below 100,000, especially after this cycle. I think this will be the last time you're gonna see it at around this level. It could go down to this level kasi nga meron pa tayong bear market na darating eh, 'di ba?
Mm.
Yung bear cycle natin darating din naman yun no matter what eh. So kung tama yung sinasabi natin na let's say nga the previous cycle was a 67% drop 'di ba in the price of Bitcoin.
Mm.
Pero you're still saying Tito na no matter what, puwede 'tong maging at least 50% drop,
Yes,
'di
yes.
ba? So given that, and I'm thinking naman all-time high natin sa cycle na 'to will be about 200,000 up to 250. So you're probably gonna see it at 100, possible. But
Pagka
will it go
nag-correct na,
below
oo.
100? Below? Tingin ko hindi at even if it does, malakas sobra yung psychological support nun na bibili, maraming papasok diyan. Kasi kahit ako mismo, anything below $100,000 for me per Bitcoin is a bargain, absolute steal.
Bonus na yun, eh, 'no?
Oo.
Lalo yun nga, eh, yun ang kagandahan, eh. If you're using the DCA strategy, so let's say your plan is to just regularly buy 'no, let's say last cycle kasi what we did, nung bear market, we have a program buying, dun sa community. We divided our capital na na-raise by ng 12 to 18%. 12 to 18 months 'no. So we divided by 12 to 18. So every month regularly during nung bear market na yon, bili lang ako ng bili,
Hmm.
tawag nga namin dun binubodega lang namin. So regularly, so hanggang sa nakaipon ka ng certain level, certain amount and then you stop buying na. You stop buying na 'pag naubos mo na yon, 'di ba? So, for example, right now may mga nag-iisip, nagtatanong kung paano ka papasok ng Bitcoin. If like for example, ikaw Chris, kung naka-program yung buying mo, 'di ba, na every month or ikaw naman every dip naglalagay ka, 'di
Mhm.
ba? So as long as you're still using the DCA strategy, I think you will agree with me na you'll never go wrong, eh. Pagka 'di ba kasi kahit na bumaba nung 118 ka bumili, 115 nga bibili ka lang, eh,
Yep.
'di ba? So, the key is never go all in. Never go all in one price. Hmm.
Okey. Pero yun yung ginawa ko nung nag-start ako sa Bitcoin, eh, all in. But I
Ganun
won't
talaga.
recommend it, I
Oo,
won't
yes,
recommend
yes,
it.
oo, oo.
But yun yung ginawa ko nung nag-start ako and kahit yung girlfriend ko nga nung nag-start siya, yun din ang ginawa niya. Sinundan niya yung ginawa ko, pero siya nung 2022. So nung
Hmm,
bumaba to 15 tapos nag-umpisa na umakyat 17, 18, 19, dun niya sinabi na, "Chris, mag-o-all in ako." Sabi ko, "Oh." Sabi niya, "Go." Sabi ko, tinanong ko kung tingin ko it's a good idea. I will never recommend it to anyone. Sa akin 'pag tinanong niyo kung mag-o-all in kayo, no, put 10%, put a small amount, bahala ka. Pero kung ako, anong ginawa ko, I went all in. And girlfriend ko siya, siya din mismo, sabi niya, "Kung ikaw nag-all in, mag-o-all in ako." Sabi ko, "Okey." I was very confident. Nag-all in siya, sinabayan ko pa.
oo.
Yun yung guarantee niya. Sabi niya, "Chris, kung gano'n kalakas loob mo, sinasabi mo sa'kin, naniniwala ka dito, sasabayan mo ba ako, ma-match mo ilalagay ko." So, 100% I'll match it. So, nung
Oo,
nag-all in siya,
all
pasok
in ka
pa
rin.
ako. At 19 and boom, she's never seen a downtime or a down month for her.
Oo,
Hindi niya
oo.
naramdaman yung sakit nung bumabagsak
Bumabagsak.
yung presyo na kasi from 19 it never saw 19 again, tuloy-tuloy na yan, eh.
Mm.
So, pero yun yung again, I'm not saying that you should do that. Ako, that's what I did. You do what you do, bahala ka. Para sa akin, the all-in strategy
No,
at the start worked.
you went all in because you understood Bitcoin already, 'di
Yes.
ba? And may experience ka na kasi, you've been to Bitcoin since sabi mo 2017, 2018, 'di ba?
No,
Oh,
2019.
2019,
Yeah,
'di
when
ba?
I came for
So
oo.
so kumbaga nakita mo na 'yan and you have done a lot of research already and you saw the price at 63, 'di ba? Na 63 nung top nung last time, 'di
Yes.
ba? And then nung nag-correct siya ng 15, 16, 'di ba? Dun ka nag-all in.
Yep.
Pero for sure nung nandun sa bandang mga 60, 63 o nung umaakyat hindi mo naman iniisip mag-all in, 'di ba?
Hindi, oo, hindi. Pero bumili ako.
Bumili ka,
Bumili
yes,
ako,
bumili
malaki yung
ka.
binili ko
Oo,
nung time
oo.
na yun, actually. So nag-all-in ako kasi the first time I did Bitcoin. My very first investment sa Bitcoin was all-in.
At what price?
$5,000 to $7,000.
Pero galing na yan ng 20,000?
Galing na ng 20. Kaya
Yun,
dahil galing na
you
siya ng
never go all in on top.
yeah, nung nakita ko kasi siya, sabi ko nag-20 na siya, nakita ko siya
Mm.
nasa yun mga 7,000, ala-ala 7,000, nakita ko at 7.
And you have an experience in the stock market, investing and trading in the stock market,
Yes,
'di ba? So
yes.
yun yung sinasabi natin na kaibahan ano, na tignan mo kasi you have the experience, you never go all in dun sa level na nandun na sa tuktok.
Yep.
Usually mga pasok mo ng all-in mo, yung galing na siya sa taas tapos, "Oh, parang super discounted na 'to." 'Di
Yes,
ba? Dun mo
oo.
sinasabi na, "Oh, sige all-in na nga ako dito."
Yun
Yun,
yun
'di
yun
ba?
yun exactly yung nakita ko
Oo,
talaga. So, discounted na 'to, okey 'to. And alam ko na tatama ba 'to ulit sa all-time high niya? Sabi ko, tatama 'to."
Mm, mm.
Actually, lalampasan niya 'to, eh, gano'n ako ka-confident, eh. And all my moves have been like that. Ito nga, sa Bored Ape na binili ko ngayon, gano'n din.
Oo.
Kasi nakita ko nga na, uy, hindi na 'to bababa below this price. And right now, nung nag-all-time high yung pag-usapan natin yung Ethereum.
Ethereum, yes,
Oo, nung
mm.
nag-all-time high siya, yung Bored Ape ko went up in price.
Oo, yun.
NFTs went up in price. So, I'm at a profit right now.
Mm.
And hindi ko naman binili 'tong Bored Ape to profit, eh. Sabi ko binili ko 'to dahil I like the investment, it's a good investment, long term 'to. Pero nung nakita ko na parang maganda mag-invest dito, kaya bumili ako ng dalawa
Oo.
para may isa akong lalaruin pan-trade na shorter term na may magandang returns. This is giving me a good return.
Eto,
Hindi ko pala binebenta kasi alam ko yung, may target price na ako. Alam ko na yung plano ko dito, turo ni Tito Vlogs 'to, yung may plano ka, execute the plan. Alam ko na yung plano ko,
oo.
alam ko yung price na tatamaan niya. Aantayin ko lang dun and I can wait. I can afford to wait kasi no matter what, I can sell this anytime I want. So, alam ko lang kung anong gusto kong price. 'Pag tumama, then
Pero may matitira ka pang isa kasi dalawa yung
yes, oo.
yung bored ape mo,
Oo, so
oo.
yun. So ngayon pag-usapan natin nga yung ano nangyari sa Ethereum at bakit ba siya nag-pump all the way to its previous all-time high or close to the previous all-time high? 4,000, almost
4,000,
4,800?
oo, almost 4,800. When it broke the again, psychological barrier na 4,000. Ang next kasi no'n was 4,500, easy na yung 4,500, eh, tapos
Yep.
mabilis na siya talaga. Because dun sa price range na yon historically, wala na masyadong trades, okey.
Hmm.
So, kumbaga dinaanan lang yon nung 2021.
Yes,
Oo,
2021.
dinaanan lang yung price na yun kaya mabilis lang din siya na-reach 'no. Kumbaga nung na-break yung 4,500 mabilis na lang din tayo nag 4,800. Ngayon, people are asking sabi nila, "Bakit gano'n? Bakit nauntog? Bakit nauntog? Eh, ang tagal-tagal na 'no, 2021 pa yung last na
Oo.
all-time high niya tapos nung malapit na dun sa level ng all-time high, oops, nag-correct yung price." Psychologically, ang explanation dun kasi yung mga tao na na-trap nung time na yon,
Yep.
nung 2021, o tapos 2025 na tayo, 4 years silang kulong, 'di ba? Laya na ako.
Oh my God.
Lalabas na ako, laya na ako. So, 'di ba may mga taong gano'n, eh. Sige, ang nakita ko na ang hirap na nasa 4,500 nasa 4,748 ako tapos umabot ng 800 na Ethereum. It was so painful. Now I have a chance to get out. So 'di ba, some people will always go out, eh. So that's number one. Number two, dahil nga yung ibang mga traders naman na alam nila na, magko-correct 'to, nagte-take profit din sila sa level na yon.
Ah,
Ngayon, so usually nagko-correct and then it will based sa technicals 'no, and usually pagka yung mga steep na uptrend na yan, usually magfo-form yan ng mga bull flag, gano'n. Tapos magbi-build up ulit doon sa level na yon, sa nasa 4,800 level. Makikita mo magbi-build up ulit yung price doon sa near that area. Susubukan ulit, mag-a-attempt ulit yon na i-break 'no. So,
hmm.
this cycle, hindi pa tayo ano, hindi pa natin nabe-break, kumbaga hindi pa tayo nagre-record ng new
Yep.
high kay Ethereum. We recorded a new high with XRP, with BNB, and I think Solana we recorded, tama
No,
ba?
no,
No,
not
no, not yet,
Solana.
not
Parang
yet.
hindi pa,
So
oo.
XRP, it was XRP and BNB
Yep.
recorded, 'di ba? Pero kay Ethereum, hindi pa.
Oo
So,
nga, eh.
eto yung exciting part kasi tignan natin yung build up dun, yung breakout nung 4,800 na yun.
So, alam mo 'no, nung binabanggit ni tito sa akin ngayon yung, theory niya about bakit nauntog nga sa previous all-time high 'tong Ethereum tapos dahil nga daw maraming mga umalis na nakalaya na bumili nung last cycle nung 2021 na nag-antay na ng almost 5 years na hawak itong Ethereum sa presyong yun. Ramdam ko yun, eh, kasi isa ako dun, eh. Isa ako
Oh.
dun sa 2021 at the all-time high, bumili ng mga if I remember correctly, I bought at 4,400 or 4,500. Tapos from there all the way down to ano, umabot ba ng $1,000?
800, alam ko.
Nag-800 ba? Yung
800.
sakit ng puso
Oo.
ko, imagine mo bumili ako at 4,400 tapos bumaba all the way down. Pero hindi ako nagbenta. Hindi ako
Mm.
nagbenta.
Hawak lang 'no?
Hawak
Pero
lang.
pero for sure nag-DCA ka? Nag-add ka while
Ethereum hindi,
Ethereum
ano
hindi,
na ako
Bitcoin
ngayon,
ka
eh,
lang,
Bitcoin na
Bitcoin
ako
ka
ngayon,
lang.
eh. Kasi yun ang difference ngayon, ever since nakita ko 'tong, pagkakaiba nung rally
Mm,
ng, buong crypto ano,
mm,
industry, nakita ko talaga that Bitcoin is the safest, asset to hold, crypto asset to hold. So
mm,
ngayon, even all my trades now are Bitcoin only. And I still
mm.
do smaller trades in altcoins, pero yung big trades ko is Bitcoin
Bitcoin
na.
lang.
Kasi yun yung isa sa'kin na nakita ko na 'pag Bitcoin, kahit anong mangyari sa trade ko, sabihin natin, "Oh, I bought too high, bumagsak, nag-correct." I just buy more. Hindi ako natatakot na mawawala yung asset ko na one day wala na 'tong pera ko. Unlike altcoins, nakita ko talaga
Oo,
nawala.
maraming nawala
Oo,
talaga.
yung bumili ako dinagdagan
Mm,
ko pa, dinagdagan ko, and I'm talking about amounts that are not small,
mm,
na
mm.
masakit para sa akin, you know? So talagang grabe kaya kaya ngayon sa Ethereum, I have enough Ethereum, I'm good with Ethereum, that's the Bored Ape.
So, saan pinambili mo ng Bored Ape, 'di ba?
Oo,
Oo,
yun,
oo,
yung
yun
dalawa
nandiyan,
pinambili ko ng
oo,
board. Bumili pa ako ng isa pang
mm.
NFT nga, eh.
Talaga?
Oo, nag-mint ako, nag-mint
Mint,
lang. So,
oo.
mura lang yung minting naman, you just pay for the minting fee. And I'm planning to buy other NFTs ngayon. I'm like, "Parang ganda ng NFT na 'to,
So
Uy,
puro Ethereum 'yan, yang mga NFTs na
all
'yan?
Ethereum."
Oh,
See, that's the thing, I
Ethereum.
only buy NFTs on Ethereum. I know
Mm.
Solana, alam ko Solana has a lot of NFTs, eh, but I don't know about Solana as a blockchain yet. Marami pa akong duda dun. Unlike
Mm,
Ethereum, very comfortable ako with Ethereum because nakikita ko nga all the total value locked in Ethereum, solid lahat yun, eh. And
mm.
because of that, comfortable ako na magkaroon ng NFT dun kasi 'pag ang NFT mo nakalagay sa isang blockchain na hindi ano, hindi ka pa sigurado, eh, kung mawala yung blockchain or anything happens, damay ang ano mo, damay
Correct,
ang
correct,
NFT
NFT
mo.
mo, mm. Eh,
Mm,
maraming gano'ng stories 'di ba, na
yes.
nawala na yung mga NFTs.
Yes,
Yeah,
oo.
oo.
So ito dadagdag ko pa dito, na with regards to the NFTs, napansin ko parang may resurgence nga ng NFT interest.
Saan sa Ethereum lang 'yan o sa lahat? Sa
Kasi
Ethereum,
tinitignan ko lang
puro
Ethereum,
Ethereum?
oh.
Ah,
Pero
talaga?
nakikita ko sa Solana parang meron din. Pero kasi nga Solana ang daming meme coins, ang daming
Oo, oo.
NFTs, ang daming mga junk
So,
dun,
ano
eh.
yung NFT na binili mo na hindi
Um,
Bored Ape?
hindi, I just bought
Ay, yung minute
literally
mo,
yung minint
minute
ko
mo?
artwork lang yun. Isang artwork
Artwork,
na ang
oo.
ganda ng artwork. So
Mm,
nakita ko, minint ko lang.
oo.
Mura lang. It was only a few, mga $20, $30 ata. Hindi ko maalala eh.
Mm,
Pero
mm.
mura lang siya, so binili ko lang. Pero I'm planning pa lang naman, either I'm looking at Pudgy Penguins
Oh.
or yung
Oo,
Little Pudgy, yung cute lang na maliit
oo,
lang,
oo.
o yung mga moonbirds. Yan, mga
Hmm.
moonbirds are ano, very popular right now, yan. So yung parang gano'n lang, I just wanna buy one more and then okay na
Ang
ako.
alam ko lang yung Pudgy Penguin, eh, yun hindi ko alam
Hmm,
yung mga yung sinasabi mo na Moonbird. Pero ano yung tinitignan mo dito sa mga NFTs na bukod dun sa I know kasi si Bored Ape, gusto mo yung gusto mo yung itsura niya, eh, 'di
yeah.
ba? You like the art. So, similar ba kay dun sa Pudgy Penguin? You
Um,
just like the
yeah,
artwork?
Pudgy Penguins, yung Little Pudgy, it's actually really cute guy. Pero it's mura lang naman siya. It was only, parang, Little Pudgy is only almost 2 ETH.
Hmm,
Almost 2 ETH lang. Sabi ko, okay naman na investment ng almost 2 ETH at saka maganda yung ano niya, yung, performance niya ngayon. So, nakita ko yung price action, mura pa siya and, kung sinundan mo siya with the para siyang second level ng ano, eh, Pudgy Penguins kasi Pudgy Penguins is about 13 ETH. So, halos ka-level ng Bored
ng
Ape ang
Bored
Pudgy
Ape, mm.
Penguins. Pero magaling sila sa IP nila because, they're able to bridge Web 2 when it comes to yung mga from merchandising to branding, brand deals, marami. So
Hmm,
nagko-crossover sila to Web 2. So which is going to attract more interest to go into Web 3 and to get the NFT. So parang magandang investment. Sabi ko, sige, why not? It's wala pang 2 ETH, go. Okay ako doon. Eh, ano, i-flip ko yung isang board
yung
ape ko
isa,
eh.
oo.
So yun. So,
Elde.
tapos yung isa naman, yung Moonbirds, nakita ko lang that it's one of the most popular sa open seas right now and most traded. So again, tinitignan ko din dito is the trading volume. Yun, the daily trading volume tinitignan ko and that is one of the reasons I buy. Pag
Mm.
mataas ang trading volume niya,
Ano yung kino-consider mo na mataas ang trading volume?
oh,
Anong
wow,
ilan?
pag
Ilang
sir per day siguro,
oo,
if I remember correctly, it would do mga 200-300 ETH per
per
day.
day. So yun yung
Oo.
maganda na yung trading volume
Oo,
'no?
maganda na yun. So, I was like, "That's pretty good, relative to the price din,
Oo,
So, 'pag kunwari may yun, Moonbirds, yung Moonbirds na Mystic ata yun, yung mas mura. It was like less than an ETH. It was doing about oh my God, I could be wrong, don't quote me on this. Sabihin natin it was doing 200 ETH,
is
pero it was ang value ng isa is less than 1 ETH.
oo.
Adi ang daming trading
Daming trade.
volume niyan,
Oo, ang
parang
daming
gano'n.
trades.
O pero kung sinabi mo 200, ETH lang ang trading volume ng, CryptoPunks for example,
Oo,
eh 34 to 40 ang isang CryptoPunk,
ang konti lang ng
konti pa lang
tina-trade,
yun
oo.
relatively per
Mm,
NFT. So yun, yun ang
mm.
isa sa mga, reasons ko or ano, mga indicators na tinitignan ko if I'm going to
Kaya
buy or
pala
not.
sinasabi mo parang may nakikita kang resurgence ng NFT na
Yes.
kabantay ka pala sa OpenSea.
Oo, tumitingin na ako parang natutuwa lang ako, nanonood lang ako and I'm planning to build nga kasi, an NFT collection for my LED ano, LED frame
Oo,
na dun ko ilalagay lahat yan,
nice,
eh. So
nice, nice.
parang
Oo.
bumibili ako ng mga artworks, talaga literally yung art lang na nagugustuhan ko, yan lang bibili ako on top of the characters na NFTs
Mm.
na nakikita ko.
Nice.
Oo,
Galing,
so
galing.
pero dito I wanted to talk about ano, yung topic pala ng ano, Bitcoin halving
Oh,
cycle.
'yun,
Hmm,
sige pag-usapan nga natin 'yan kasi kanina kinukuwento mo sa'kin
oo.
na hindi pala, 63 o 64,000
67,
sixty seven
67.
thousand ang Tapla cycle. 'Di
Yes.
ba, nagulat din ako sabi ko, "Ha?
Ah,
Saang chart 'yun?" 'Di ba
oo.
tinanong ko
Parang mali
sige, oo,
ano?
parang
Oo,
mali.
mali ba tayo?
Ano yung
Okey.
logic behind it or theory behind it?
So, lumalabas na ang all-time high nung last cycle is $72,000. So nagtaka ka nga na maraming
Oo,
nagtataka nung sinabi ko 'to na parang, "Ha? Eh, nakita namin 67, saan galing 'tong 72?" 72,000 happened kasi in March 2024. Ngayon, I'm sure some of the people watching this right now na they're into Bitcoin, inisip nila, "Teka, eh, yung last cycle was 2021, 'di ba?" Mali. Kasi if you think about it, the cycle starts when?
halving.
During the halving. O
Yes.
kailan ba yung huling halving natin? In May
May
2024.
2024, yes.
The all-time high happened in March 2024 before the new cycle started.
Mm.
So if you think about it, the 72,000 counts in the previous cycle.
Part pa
Kasi
siya ng previous cycle.
yes, because naalala mo nung nangyari yun, we were all excited. Sabi nga natin, "Oh my God, nag-all-time high tayo bago nagkaroon ng bagong halving."
Halving, oo.
'Di
Para
ba?
first time niyang ginawa
First
yon. First
time.
time, yes. First time in
Oo.
history, yeah.
And this is not an original thought, by the way, I read, Adam Back's post about this on X. Doon ko na nakita yung
Teka, sino
logic.
muna daw si Adam? Baka hindi nila kilala
So
si
oo nga,
Adan yata
oo nga.
kilala.
Si Adam Back, siya yung ano, isa sa mga cypherpunks na kasama ni Satoshi that built, the Bitcoin, to what it is today. So kasama niya
Hmm,
sina Hal Finney,
mm,
sina Nick Zabos, all of those guys. So mga
mm.
OGs na yan.
Mga
And
OGs.
sinabi nga niya na, "Guys, if you think about it, when does a cycle nga start and when does it end?" Eh, hindi naman nag-e-end ang cycle until the new cycle starts, eh.
Starts, yeah,
So if you look at it from that logic, it makes sense.
yes, yes, yeah. Makes sense,
Oo,
makes sense.
ngayon based on that, tanong ko sa'yo ngayon, Tito, ang ibig sabihin ba nun na ang bagong all-time high natin for this cycle, would it be possible that it'll be in 2028 bago mag-umpisa yung bagong cycle in 2028 of April?
Possible yun na hindi pa natin posible na hindi pa natin nakikita yung top until na matapos yung cycle.
Okey.
Kasi if we're buying that idea, 'no, which for me valid naman, eh, 'no. Tama nga naman yung logic na yun na hindi pa nagtatatapos yung isang cycle hangga't hindi na nag-uumpisa yung
Bago.
succeeding cycle. So, if that theory is correct, so there's a possibility na hindi mo pa nga nakikita yung top ng Bitcoin
Mhm.
this cycle, okay? But wait, there's more. Teka muna,
Oo nga.
okey.
Before you get
Oo,
excited, oh.
okey. Kasi nung ina-analyze ko din kanina, sabi ko, okey. So kung yung top natin was 74,000 last March,
72,
72,000 last March, and we had a top na 63,
67.
67 noong 2021 prior to our 15,000 low, 'di
Right, in
ba? So,
2022.
there is still a possibility, kumbaga maiko-consider mo yung from 67 to 15,000 a correction na kasama yung cycle, 'di ba? 'Di ba?
Yes.
So, parang sa isang cycle na nag-correct siya ng
Right.
about 70%, 'no? So, meaning if we're going to follow that, logic din, posible ka pa ring magkaroon ng correction, and then after that correction, puwede ka ulit na magbasag ng or mag-record ng new high.
Right,
Mm,
oo.
mm.
Pero in this case naman, assuming nga na may correction, ang theory mo dito nga is definitely it will not be less than 50% ang correction natin
Not less, I think, for me kasi yung even the biggest yung mga financial markets,
na
stock market,
mature.
na mature, they can they can go 40-50% eh, ng mga correction, eh.
Okey.
Oo, so pero yun yung alam mo yung, ang reason is macro, 'no? There's really a change in macro, in the economy kaya nagdi-dip ng gano'n naman nagko-correct ng malalalim yung stock market, 'no? So, that is why ako naman ako mas nakabantay kasi ako sa macro, eh, what's happening on the bigger picture sa
Mhm.
ng global economy.
Okey.
Kasi, ayokong ma-miss yun, eh, na, "Oh, ito na yung inaantay mo." Kasi the 2008 crisis was something na I was not ready. So,
Okey.
naiwan din ako no'n, nasa Philippine stock market ako, naiwan din ako sa tuktok no'n. So so that's why nung after that 2008, talagang pinaghahandaan ko yung mga dips na yon, yung mga correction na yon na merong malaking changes macro sa macro. So yun. So the
Okey.
last one was 2020, yung COVID.
Right, right, oo
Mm.
nga. So ang sinasabi mo nga dito 'no, so based on your analysis, especially historical and macro trends, kung bumaba siya ng 50%, right? Right now, we're only at 115. I
115,
mean, 115
yes.
nga today, eh.
Mm.
Tingin ko kasi nga this this cycle, no, not this cycle, excuse me, this year, I think we're still gonna hit 200,000 up to 250. So given that, I think that the bottom will be if kung 200 to 250 will be between 100 to 125 given the 50% drop.
Oh, so yun babalikan ngayon natin yung sinasabi mo na psychological barrier, 'di ba, na 100,000 na
Oo.
pinag-uusapan natin kanina. So, if you'll follow that logic, so that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, and
Mm.
ano, if you think about it kasi, um, ang nakikita ko lang problema, what if nga hindi tayo tumama ng 200? What if 150? Eh, di kung we follow your ano, line of thinking, eh, di puwede tayo bumaba to 76,
76.
75, baka 67 pa o baka 72, the psychological barrier
Yung
of the last
yung
all-time
previous
high,
all-time high.
oo.
Oo, oo nga 'no. Hindi ko naisip,
Mm,
oo, posible din yun. That's
posible
still a
'yun, 'di ba?
oo.
Oo.
Kasi sa historically naman si Bitcoin lagi niyang revisit 'no, yung previous all-time high niya.
Yeah.
Yung mga previous cycle all-time highs
Oo,
niya.
kasi 'di ba nung 2017 meron tayo yung, almost 20,000 na all-time high, mga 19,000 all-time
Mm.
high. And then
Bumalik
binalikan
tayo.
niya no
Mm.
2022 all the way
Mm.
to 15, lumampas
Yes.
nga, eh. So ngayon baka ngayon umabot na tayo dito, puwedeng bumagsak ulit below 67 parang gano'n.
Maybe if we're considering na 74,000 yung
Oh, 74 sabihin
yeah,
mo na, oh.
puwedeng mga nandun sa
Up to
area na yun.
70 gano'n.
Oo, tapos 'pag tinignan mo rin pala, dun sa chart niya, yung last major dip natin prior na binasag natin yung 100,000 was nasa dun sa area din na yun, 'Di ba
Yes.
nasa 75,
Yes,
'no?
oo.
So double bottom, possible double bottom ka dun.
Okay. So tingin mo baka if ever the worst is about there. Pero ayun na nga, ako naman, I don't think we're gonna go below 100. And even if we do, I think it'll just bounce very quickly.
Ah,
Because of psychological talaga yun, eh, more than anything. Plus, remember nadagdagan na yung ano, yung mga institusyon dumadami na, eh. The demand is increasing, eh. It's not like it's going down. Back then kasi remember retail ang kalaban mo, eh. Ngayon institutions
institutions.
na, eh, which is mas maraming balayan mga yan, eh.
Actually from 75, tingnan mo, yung logic na sundan mo. 75,000 to 100,000 kung let's say yun yung tinitignan mo na possible correction. Yung $25,000 na price difference, hindi na siya masyadong magma-matter when kung ang presyo naman na tinitignan mo kay Bitcoin next cycle is let's say sabihin mo ng 250, 350 o 400, 'di ba? Yung 25,000 difference na yun, it not really matter, 'di ba?
Right. Oo nga 'no, tama. Yeah, yeah. So in other words, if people are gonna buy whether it's 100 or
Sa
75, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Oo,
mm.
maliit na lang yung difference na yun sa ano mo, eh, pag-i-invest mo, eh.
Oh, ang lagi ko nga sinasabi, what only matter is how many satoshis you have once na nag-fly na yung price
Hmm,
action, 'di ba? It
right.
doesn't matter kung ano na yung average price mo, eh. When you're doing DCA, yan yung lagi kong ano, eh, rule, eh. It doesn't matter kung ano na yung magiging average price ko, if I'm doing DCA. What only matter is how many satoshis yung naipon ko, how many marbles yung naipon ko kapag umakyat na yung price.
Oo.
'Di ba? Kasi minsan tayo dun sa analysis paralysis na, baka bumaba pa dito na lang ako bibili. Ay naku bumili ko, yung
Tas
iba naman bumili bas bumaba ang sama-sama ng loob,
oo.
'di ba? So, kasi kung nakikita mo and you're following Bitcoin and you are a believer, it doesn't really matter kung nagko-correct ka ng ano, 'di ba? Pag nagdi-DCA ka, doesn't really matter. Hindi na masyadong ano yun, importante. Importante lang gaano karami yung hinawakan mo, gaano karaming naipon mo.
Yun, oo.
Mm.
So based on that, tanong ko nga sa'yo ano, Tito, when you talk about ano, gaano karaming hawak mong Bitcoin ba as a store of value or do you see it more as a currency?
I think it will be ako, talagang ever since tinitignan ko siya as a store of value.
You've
Not
never
not
looked at it as
not
a
not a
currency?
medium of exchange.
Okay.
It's so volatile and it's, so scarce na kasi sabi mo na kahit na Satoshi na yan, eh, 'di ba? Kahit na sabihin mo
Yep.
pa Satoshi na lang yung yung magiging
Yes.
bayaran natin. I think scarce pa rin siya 'no, para maging mode of payment siya or gamitin siyang currency. What I see sa Bitcoin is a store value like gold 'no, na whereby you can peg your, digital currency, 'di ba,
Mhm,
your other altcoins to
mhm.
its price. So remember in the, I think 1940s 'di ba, pineg nila yung dollar sa gold, 'di
Yes,
ba? So and then kumbaga instead na nagte-trade tayo Chris ng gold, 'pag may kailangan ako gold ang pinambabayad ko sa'yo, hindi, 'di ba? Binag-issue na ang US ng paper money, nag-agree ang lahat na, oh, itong US dollar will be backed
by
by
gold,
gold,
mm.
'di ba? So ngayon hindi mo na kailangan dalhin yung physical gold, as long as may dollar ka, alam mo na may value 'yan na katumbas na gold 'yan
Yep,
sa Fort Knox sa
yep.
US 'no. The problem was nung ni-lift nga yung gold standard 'no. So I think sa crypto kasi yun ang maganda kasi sa crypto, kung for example sa Bitcoin 'no, yung magkakaroon tayo ng Bitcoin standard. So siya yung magiging parang back ano mo yung, store of value mo na whereby you can only print certain or issue stable coins or your
Mhm,
own currency if you have certain number of Bitcoin. Let's say
right.
ang Bitcoin mo is worth, $10 million for
Mhm.
example 'no. So yun lang yung pwede mong i-mint na ano, na stable coin. You can
Yes,
not mint more than that. Ngayon, madali siyang i-check, madali siyang makita kasi nasa blockchain, eh.
yun.
'Di ba? So
Ah,
dun ko siya tinitingnan.
alam mo, we're actually the same on this. I was hoping nga that we were gonna debate on this, eh. Alam mo naman ako mahilig ako sa debate 'pag ganyan, ano. Pero nakita ko din nga
Ayaw kitang
na
kadebate.
yeah. Alam mo, hindi kahit nga sa mga crypto conferences 'pag pumupunta ako dun, para lang mas spicy, magbibigay ako ng contrarian na perspective, eh, para lang mas shake things up, eh. Pero yung
Yeah.
dito sa store of value, ako din yun din ang paniniwala ko nga na it's really more of a store of value than a currency that you're going to be used to pay for purchases.
Mm.
So similar yung reason natin pero may idadagdag ako dun. Number one, tulad nga nung gold nung nagkaroon ng Bretton Woods Agreement and then they said, "Oh, we'll peg everything to the gold." And then magkakaroon ka ng second layer mo which is fiat, which is that time hindi pa nga called fiat currency, which is the currency on
Oo.
top of mga IOUs yan, eh, 'di ba?
Mm.
Tapos anong nangyari, nung nakawala sa gold, kumbaga parang yan yung anchor mo, eh.
Nade-peg siya parang gano'n.
Oo, 'pag bitaw dun, pop, lumipad yung
Mm.
lipad yung mga presyo ng lahat ng bilihin.
Mm.
Nagkaroon ng massive inflation in the 70s right after it was decoupled from gold. So, in a way, nakikita ko kasi nga Bitcoin as digital gold. So what I see happening now is, people aren't going to be spending their Bitcoin. I don't wanna spend my Bitcoin. I'm holding it. And I'm going to use my Bitcoin to be able to have another way to spend. Yun na nga, yung borrow against
Borrowing,
your
oo.
Bitcoin.
Mm.
Yun na nga yung bagong logic ngayon, eh, borrow against your Bitcoin. Now, until magkaroon ng time wherein magkakaroon ng mga second layer ang Bitcoin na gagamitin ng tao, which is, I think, nation states will peg their currencies on Bitcoin.
Mm.
Yan na yung magiging bagong global, kaya nga global reserve natin. Hindi nga global reserve currency, global reserve asset.
Mm.
Yun.
Mm.
Kaya ibig sabihin nun, for me, hindi ako naniniwala with the movement of the Lightning Network na people are gonna spend and use Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to really flourish. It's an interesting idea and I love that they're doing it. Hindi ko sinasabing masama yun. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, I don't think that that's what Bitcoin is meant to do. Although I understand that's what Satoshi envisioned it, but in reality, because of its scarcity, you don't need to use it as a medium of currency exchange on a day-to-day basis. Pero on major asset purchases, pwede.
Mm.
Oh, but
Mm.
not on a regular pambili ng damit, pambili ng mga consumables. So hindi gano'n. So yun ang nakikita kong major difference. So for me, Lightning Network and Bitcoin wallet, I don't know kung may future 'yan right now the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you 'no, kasi ang alam ko mahal din ang fees, eh, 'di ba, if you use the
Mhm.
Lightning Network, eh. So hindi rin siya for me, hindi rin siya feasible kasi yung gas fee mo
Tsaka
ang mahal,
mabagal.
eh, oh, ta's mabagal. So
Yeah, pero sa Lightning kasi mas mura. Pero inaakit mo siya to the Lightning
okey,
network,
okey.
oo. So,
Mm.
pero complicated, eh.
Mm.
I've tried buying and, buying using Bitcoin because it's an exciting technology. Ako, I like trying new things.
Oo,
Tinry ko, ang hirap.
mahirap.
Pati ako nahirapan ako, like,
Mm.
ano yun, scan ko 'to, pero bago ko isa-scan kailangan ko muna i-type yung amount, tapos pagpapadala ano, so nalulungkot ako sa process.
Okey,
So,
okey.
until they are able to fix that, I don't think that's going to happen. One thing lang ano na ano interesting ano is yun, where Bitcoin is going now with, strategy and how they're using it. I think, that is where I'm gonna be working towards using Bitcoin as a pristine collateral na any lender would want to hold on to lend money to. So in other words, for example, right now, pag ikaw kailangan mo umutang ng pera sa akin, tapos sabihin mo isasanla mo yung lupa mo, I probably don't know if I'll take it or not. Kasi hindi ko alam kung kaya ko ibenta yung lupa mo eh. 'Di ba? At saka
Mm.
kailangan ko pa i-verify kung
Oo,
totoong sa'yo ba
yes,
yan. Baka
oo.
mamaya hindi nga sa'yo yun, 'di ba?
Madaming proseso.
Oo, maraming
Mm.
proseso at ako mismo hindi ako sigurado,
Mm.
and what if I need the money tapos
Mm.
kahit na sabihin natin na na-forfeit na yung collateral mo sa akin, nakuha ko na, papaano kung di ko mabenta, 'di mamomroblema pa ako, which is the problem with banks right now.
Mm.
Kaya ang strikto nila with their credit checks kasi they don't wanna be stuck with your collateral.
Yes, yes.
Okay, kasi when you talk about assets, especially is even though it's real estate, is nagde-depreciate, hindi magde-depreciate, excuse me, nasisira yung asset, eh. So may maintenance cost yan, eh.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
so hindi pa rin yung pristine asset as collateral. But if anyone ever approached me and said, "Can you lend me money? I have Bitcoin. I'll take your asset. I will take
Mm.
your Bitcoin." Kung sinabi sa'kin, Tito, if you ever approach me and said, I don't think Tito will ever approach me and ask me for a loan. Pero if you ever did, Tito, and you said to me, "Chris, pahiram naman pera,
Oo.
collateral ko
Collateral
Bitcoin
Bitcoin,
ko," I
oo.
will take it
Mm.
in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think twice.
Ay
And over collateralized, pero I will take it.
Oo, I think ano yan, eh, yan na yung mga susunod, eh, 'no, na na form of, lending, borrowing, and mode of transaction, 'no. Kumbaga next level of finance will be,
Yes.
nandito na sa blockchain. So, isa pa lang 'to, eh, isa pa lang yung use case na yan, eh, na 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 puwede mong gawin sa Bitcoin. But for sure, in the future marami pang puwedeng, 'di ba, paggamitan, eh.
Yes. So, yung interesting diyan sa binanggit ko kasi ano, is that when you think about Bitcoin kasi ano, I do believe in that theory that it will go up forever. Naniniwala ako dun.
Mm.
Naniniwala ka ba
Mm.
dun?
I think nandun ako sa camp na it will still go is it has still has a room for upside, more room for upside. But I think also na there will come a time na it will get saturated na nandun na siya sa almost peak niya na whereby parang nga siyang aabot na siya dun sa parang status ng gold, 'no, na yes, umaakyat siya pero hindi na siya ganun ka-volatile.
Okay. So,
Oo. Aakyat pa rin siya, yung sinasabi mo nga, it will go up forever, yes, pero hindi na siya yung nakikita natin 5%,
Oo.
7% isang oras, biglang may 5% up, hindi na, eh. Um, 'Pag narating niya na yung point of maturity niya whereby majority are holding already and the price is, maybe times 4 times 5 na from the price today or maybe times 10 from the price today, medyo mabigat na yon. So, hindi na siya for me, aabutin niya rin yung price na ay yung status na konti na lang yung galaw niya.
Okay. So,
Oo.
ako naman kasi naniniwala ako when I say it's gonna go up forever, the rise of Bitcoin's price will be commensurate to the inflation rate right now based on government borrowings, nation-state borrowings, pag-increase ng global debt. And the global debt will not stop. Hindi ko nakikita yung ending nitong current system natin na utang ng utang ang lahat ng mga gobyerno, and as long as they keep borrowing and printing money, the price of Bitcoin will keep going up because that means that the value of all fiat assets or currencies will just keep going down. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Kaya that's why nag-subscribe na ako doon sa idea that it will go up forever unless magkakaroon ng global reset.
Hindi, yun nga ang tatanong ko sa'yo, hindi mo ba nakikita na there's a possibility na in the global reset whereby fiat will be so useless, 'no, na parang wala ng value yung fiat and everything is pegged into Bitcoin,
Hmm.
and then all of the currencies is pegged into Bitcoin. So yung mode of transaction mo nasa blockchain na lahat.
Hmm,
Kumbaga, wala na tayong pinag-uusapang US dollar. Hindi na
yeah,
natin pinepeg sa US dollar yung price ng
yep,
Bitcoin probably, 'di ba? Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin.
right.
Maybe we'll be pegging, let's say for example, the price of, for example, of XRP into Bitcoin,
Yes.
'di ba? Nakikita mo ba 'yon?
Nakikita ko yun actually,
Mm.
pero is it going to be in our lifetime? Hindi ko alam. Oo, baka hindi, eh.
Oo,
I don't
oo,
know, eh, kasi
oo.
ang hirap na 'tong shift na 'to at the global reset, medyo nakakatakot 'yan, That's going to be chaos.
Mm.
That's not an easy global reset. There will be monetary chaos at, it's an upheaval of the entire system. So, painful 'to, There will be a lot of suffering when that happens, but it will be healing. Pero we need to, if we're gonna have a global reset, there will be, talagang a lot of people that will suffer. Yeah, it's a total upheaval of the system.
Ako naman ang nakikita ko kasi is, gaano kabilis yung adoption. Meaning dati, ayaw nila ng Bitcoin, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Institutions, countries, ayaw ng Bitcoin. But now they're slowly, again, nandun pa tayo sa slowly embracing. But sabi nga ni, I have to quote ano, Tito Florin Hilbay, na slowly then suddenly, 'di ba? So dahan-dahan nilang ina-adapt, and then baka hindi na natin mamalayan na, okay, majority of the states pala or the countries or companies are into Bitcoin na, 'di ba?
Hmm,
So, um, and I think kapagka majority of, the economies in the world are into Bitcoin, medyo mabibilis na yung transition, 'di ba? Mabilis na i-flip yun, mabilis na yung reset kasi may hawak na kami.
hmm.
Kalimutan na natin yung fiat, 'di ba? Marami na kaming naipon. Oh, eto na yung gagawin natin. Meron ako nakikitang gano'n, and, yung kasi technology 'to, 'di ba?
Yep.
So, yung technology kasi mabilis yung adoption, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Um, Kumbaga once na nag-roll out na 'yan, mabilis, mabilis mo na siya maa-adapt. So ako naman nandun ako sa camp na we might see it in our lifetime.
Oh, wow,
Hmm,
okey. So ito yung ito pa yung isa na kanina kino-compute ko. 'Di ba kasi nga 1 Bitcoin or 1 Satoshi, is 0.0000000001 Bitcoin. So 8 decimal places 'yan. And kino-compute ko 'to, 'pag nag $1 million per Bitcoin tayo, 1 Satoshi is 1 cent.
mhm,
Oo, so ang
mm,
bilis na i-compute 'yan.
mm,
So,
mm.
I am actually one of those na sabi ko nga sana puwede na nga nating i-denominate na ang Bitcoin in satoshis or calling 1 sat, which is 0.00000001 Bitcoin, 1 sat as 1 Bitcoin na.
Oo,
Oo, parang
oo.
ngayon 'pag tinanong, "Magkano isang Bitcoin?"
Oo,
1 cent, oh, 'pag
oo,
at 1 million. Pero kasi ngayon, 1 Bitcoin is at, 0.00115. So, parang
mm.
hirap pa rin isipin. Pero I think kasi 'pag ni-redenominate natin ang Bitcoin to its lowest unit, mas bibilis pa yung adoption tingin ko.
Oo, kasi alam mo barrier of entry din yung, ah iba na 'pag ang tingin nila kasi sa Bitcoin sobrang mahal na, sobrang taas na.
Yup.
Marami akong mga kaibigan na nagtatanong, ang mahal-mahal na, puwede bang bumili, magkano isang Bitcoin?" Ang gusto bilhin isa,
Oo nga.
Sabi akala kasi nila hindi
Kailangan
puwedeng
bumili ng
bumili ng
isa.
fraction, 'di ba?
Oo.
Kailangan isa kaagad yung bibili mo. So hindi, sabi ko, "Puwede kang bumili, you have ₱1,000, you have ₱5,000, puwede mo i-convert sa Bitcoin 'yan." Sabi kong gano'n sa kanya. Hindi ko kailangan na isang buo yung bibilhin mo kasi nga, 'yun in-explain ko din 'no, yung satoshis 'no, yung 8 decimal places. So, kung ano man yung katumbas nun, yun ang magiging mahahawakan mo, a fraction of Bitcoin. Sabi kong gano'n sa kanya. Hindi mo kailangan bumili na ng isang buo. So ngayon, kumbaga, because of that na ang thinking 'no, nung mga wala pa sa Bitcoin, iniisip nila kailangan nila ng isang buong Bitcoin, nadi-discourage.
Yes,
Oo.
at saka nakaka-discourage 'pag sinabi ng, "Oh, nakabili na ako Bitcoin, oh, how much you own?" 0.0001 Bitcoin. Parang ang liit, 'di ba? Parang ilang zeros 'yan. So, I think that's also the psychological barrier na sa mga tao, ang sarap pakinggan na sinabi mo ng, "Well, I bought, 100,000 satoshis or
Oo.
100,000 Bitcoins for, $1,000." Parang gano'n. Ang sarap pakinggan versus, yeah, $1,000 ko nabili ko is 0.008. Yun, which is kanina, like for example, bumili ako kanina ng 0.008, $900 yun. Parang liit naman 0.008 lang ang nabili ko
Oo.
nun versus sabihin ko that I was able to buy, 8 million, oh, 'di ba,
Oo,
Bitcoins.
satoshis,
Oo,
satoshis,
satoshi
oo.
parang parang ang
Ting
yaman ng feeling mo, eh.
tingin mo ba dadating tayo dun sa time na mas sikat na yung si Satoshi, yung Satoshi, kaysa sa Bitcoin? Meaning mas ano na siya, mas pinag-uusapan, mas binabanggit kasi kumbaga Satoshi yung mas marami, eh.
Yes,
'Di ba?
oo. Pero yun ang pinaglalaban ngayon ng mga Bitcoin maxis na dapat palitan na sana to instead of calling mo the smallest unit Satoshi, call it a Bitcoin. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Para lang
Oh,
reorient na yung framing natin at, how we look at Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Anong
Ah,
tatawag mo dun sa isang Bitcoin, sa isang buo?
10 million satoshis.
'Di ba?
Oh, 'di ba?
Parang gano'n, eh. So, well, 'yun. Siguro maganda 'yun ano, na magandang makita din natin 'yun. Kasi by that time na mararamdaman talaga nung, bawat holder yung value, 'di
Yes,
ba?
oo.
Kasi ngayon sabi mo nga parang 0.000 parang ayaw mong bilhin, eh, parang parang alikabok yung
Oo nga.
bibilhin mo, eh.
Parang yung buhangin, eh,
Oo,
isang
parang
piraso.
buhangin lang,
Ayun
eh.
lang, oh, parang, "Ito meron na akong nabili, magkano 'to?" Mahal naman 'yan, versus sabihin mo, "Ito madami, oh."
Oo,
Oh, 'di ba?
yes,
Parang
yes.
parang 'yun ang gusto lang mangyari ng mga tao, eh. So, but I don't know if that'll happen ano. But when you talk about adoption dito, one thing that I did notice is that malakas yung resistance to adoption by the legacy financial communities. Yung naalala ko hearing the EU, yung financial, head ng euro na currency, they were very against, Bitcoin, 'di ba? Yung
Si
European Union.
Christine Lagarde
Yes,
na
oo, yun,
ECB.
oo. Parang she's somebody out of the Star Wars ano, eh, na siya yung evil na
Oo,
na The
oo.
Republic, parang gano'n yung dating sa'kin nung si Christine Lagarde na yun, eh. Pero what happened recently was the WEF, who has been as an organization against Bitcoin, has suddenly, nominated and appointed, or I don't know how they do it, Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO, to be, if I'm not mistaken, the vice chair or the co-chair of the WEF. Ang curious ako dito, marami akong nabasa naman on X at sa mga ibang social media, parang there's a concern that they have over it. I look at this as bullish news because Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, is a Bitcoin bull in my eyes. So nagtataka ako, bakit may parang, concern ang mga Bitcoin, maxis and peeps na Larry Fink is now part of the WEF, considering I consider Larry Fink to be on our side. Ano yung mga nakikita mong concerns dito?
Tingin ko isa 'yan sa kasi kung si Larry uupo sa WEF, so yung influence, 'di ba? So, meaning he can probably influence the organization from being anti-Bitcoin to being a neutral muna. Wag muna natin sabihing
Okay.
pro, a little neutral and then pro, et cetera, 'no? So, and then siguro ang fear nung majority is that, itong, organization na 'to, mga big boys yung mga nandito, eh, 'di
Hmm,
ba? So, and tayong mga sabi ko nga, tayong mga retailers, konti lang yung kaya nating bilhin, konti lang yung puwede
right.
nating ma-hoard. We only have so much, 'no? So, itong mga 'to once na let's say for example, they agreed, "Oh, sige let's adopt na rin yung Bitcoin." Sabi ni Larry pinag-aralan niya na,
Okay.
"Sige gawin na rin natin." So, kaya sige bibili kami ng let's say, "Oh, sige we'll allocate 1 billion to buy Bitcoin." Kami naman will allocate 2 billion. Alam mo yon yung,
Okay.
maybe one organization can hold, 'no, majority of
Ye
Bitcoin. So yun yung isa siguro sa mga fear nila,
ah,
which ako naman, I don't think, 'no, na ako kasi nandun din ako sa camp mo na para sa'kin bullish yan.
oo
Kasi
nga.
ibig sabihin if they will be buying, 'di ba, bibili sila tataas yung price, eh. But from the perspective siguro nung puwede nilang makontrol, kasi nga majority hawak nila, they can
Mm,
manipulate the price, they can control, eventually they can control
right.
it. Siguro dun nagkakaroon ng fear. Ngayon, ang maganda rito ang nakikita ko, this will become a test of Bitcoin kasi alam naman natin na kaya naman na-create ang Bitcoin because we want it to be decentralized, cannot be controlled by anyone,
Mhm.
'di ba, na even if for example, even Satoshi, ang daming hawak na Bitcoin.
Yep.
But Can he really control the price? No. Even BlackRock now, ang daming hawak, but can they really control the price? I don't think so. So, ngayon, as these institutions go on board, MicroStrategy nandiyan na, and the people from WEF, magiging test 'yan kay Bitcoin kung, kaya ba niyang panindigan yung pagiging decentralized niya. And ako, personally, I think kaya.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, yan hindi talaga tayo magde-debate dito, eh. Kasi ako din I agree with you, eh, na yun ang sinabi din sa kaibigan ko nung nag-usap kami na yung takot niya na baka makontrol nga 'to ng BlackRock or ng WEF and all the the billionaires are gonna control it. You know what? So many countries have tried to control Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still the apex predator, as Michael Saylor put it, and we either evolve and adapt to it or we get left behind. Yun lang ang bottom line. Bitcoin cannot be controlled by any organization, any group. Ang hirap to be able to do that. I mean, think about it. Bitcoin right now is at $2 trillion. If they were going to try to buy a trillion, yan, sige, 1 trillion to control it. To get to buy 1 trillion worth of Bitcoin, that'll skyrocket the price of Bitcoin to 10 trillion. Oh, so they would have to really allocate so many resources to just try to control it. Number one. Number two, if they did succeed in getting that much Bitcoin to try to control it, what are they going to do? Lower the price or increase the price? So either way, we're riding this. We're riding the
Yes.
adoption. We're riding the acceptance, and lahat tayo makikinabang tayo dito no matter what. The more they adopt it, the more they embrace the technology, the more we all benefit either way. And control, hindi pa rin nila kaya yan, eh.
Yes, yes. So yun yung maganda kasi nga dito, bago sila nakapasok, nauna tayong mga
Yun.
retailers, 'di ba? So, ngayon
Oo.
if you are ngayon lang siyempre some of the viewers now, ngayon lang nila narinig yung Bitcoin, or ano ba, papasok ba ako or hindi? Magsisimula ba ako or hindi? Um, I think ngayon kung papasok ka ngayon, kasabay mo sila,
Yeah.
'di ba?
Pero hindi pa rin, eh.
Oo, 'di ba?
Remember that even when you talk about the big institutions, marami hindi pa rin
Maraming hindi pa. Yes,
oo. And remember, in terms of, assets, that you can invest in, Bitcoin is only at 2 trillion. Okay, gold is at, 10 trillion ba gold? 20, I forget na kung 10 trillion. Ay hindi, 20 trillion
mm.
ang gold. So, think about it, where we are to where we're going, malayo pa 'to. This is still in the infancy stage. So, for me, sa mga nag-iisip diyan na bibili ba ako Bitcoin, mag-invest ba ako sa Bitcoin? Dude, all I can say to everyone, if all the billionaires are now buying, nation states are buying, companies are buying, putting it in their treasury, ano pang inaantay mo? Mahuhuli ka na. At kung sinasabi mo na mahal ang $115,000 per Bitcoin, trust me, when it hits 1 million, well, then sabihin mo, sayang hindi ako nakabili. At yun ang palagi kong narinig. Hanggang ngayon, narinig ko pa rin yun. The other day, narinig ko yun na
Sayang hindi mo ako bumili nung 70, nung
yes, nung
60.
70, exactly. So, ganun lagi ang nakikita kong problema is they'll never mind. Sabihin, sige na, never mind na nalampasan na ako. Sasabihin, hindi ko pa nalampasan. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday. Sinabi ko, dude, hindi ka pa nalampasan. Ako, kakabili ko lang nga at 118. Pero ang
Mm.
mahal na eh. Paano kung bumagsak? Di bili pa tayo.
Oo, yes. Yun yung
Yun.
importante 'no, na naiintindihan natin ano, yung, kung ano 'tong pinapasok natin, what is Bitcoin, the reason why we are also here, we're educating. But, siguro ako naman sa akin naman being a risk manager, lagi ang tingin ko kasi 'pag bibili ka or you're putting, something or investing in something, kailangan, aralin mo muna, that's number one. Kasi 'no, kahit ano sabihin namin dito na 'di ba na, "Di ganito yan, bullish kami, maganda na," 'di ba? But if you don't believe in it, there will be times na either you will exit early or you will be shaken out, makakabahan ka kapagka bumababa yung price. But we say is pagka Bitcoin kasi, you do not put money you can afford to lose. You put money you can afford to keep.
Yun.
Yun.
Okay.
Kung kaya mong itago yan ng isang, 'di ba, ng 5 years, 10 years, yun lang yung ilagay mo. 'Wag mong
Yun.
ilagay yung pang-araw-araw mo dito sa
Ang galing
Bitcoin.
talaga nun, tito.
Oo.
And that's a great way to end this, napaalala lang sa inyo lahat, kagaya ng sabi nga ni Tito, although we're trying to educate, remember that what we're doing here is not
Not
financial
financial
advice. And
advice.
please do your own research. And with that, ako si Kristan.
Ako po si Tito G.
Magkita tayo muli sa aming susunod na episode. Salamat sa inyo lahat.
Bye.